welcome. This is Ayana Lahi, and I'm so very happy that you're here with me in today's episode of Be One, Be You. We are diving into the theme, why you can't differentiate illusion and God. In our evolutionary existence, in the process of awakening into ourself being the spark of light, the spark of divine intelligence that exists within sight of ourself, we become conscious of our thoughts, our feelings, so that we can step through the veils, the barriers, into our true self. All of us are unified and joined through the spark of light that exists in each and every one of us. Many of us are awakening, many of us yearn to have an experience that is outside of the trepidations that we feel, in our fear that comes up through not knowing what's going on in this world, not understanding why we feel anything from anxiety to fear to disillusionment to hopelessness and helplessness. And so instead avoiding, turning our back upon what seems to be bigger than ourself, we create an illusion to live within. We focus our mind on something that might feel good, and we try not to face or deal with anything that is upsetting, to wanting just to feel good and see things through the eyes that comfort us, no matter how mundane things might feel around us. For those of you who see through what's going on right now on the planet, the deep imbalance that is happening outside of us, we have to be willing to allow our inner sight to push us deeper into ourself, to go beyond the belief systems that have kept us stuck. Each generation creates their own survival thought system. Each generation brings a new gift. And each generation either goes to sleep or chooses to stay awake. Many of you in the generations that are between the ages of 15 and 35 are facing the breakdown of what the older generations have done through their choices and alignments to survival, to defining themselves through their own particular collective system. We are now at a point where wanting more doesn't work. We have reached the max point of the wanting more, and living for that wanting more experience. It doesn't give back to us when it stands separate from our wholeness. And there's nothing wrong with the wanting. What creates your life to function and to support your unique individual path of unfolding as the flower into who you are, into you. Why can't we differentiate illusion and the source itself, God? All there is, the central point of existence that is not connected to any religion. God exists alone as one, all one. God does not need any religion to exist. God is the source. Within you is this source. What is it that we do that makes it at times for many impossible to see who you are, to see how we have broken the sacred bond, the sacred connection into source, and have traveled and traveling on the path in separation from the one. When you are connected into the source of infinite expression within yourself, you touch into the unlimited, outrageous, life-changing, and heart-opening power experience of seeing through the veil. We put up a veil when we are hurt. We can create a veil to manipulate and get what we want. We can hide behind that veil. We can also create that veil to completely prevent us from finding who we are. Because when we find who we are then put into the position, into the place of ABRing ourselves, abandoning, betraying, or rejecting ourselves. When we ABR who we really are, which is a form of survival, we turn against the God essence, that spark of divine intelligence within ourselves. Illusion is created through turning away from the light within ourselves. We can create our own story that we believe is real. We can make up the story about who we're supposed to be and align our life to who we think we're supposed to be. We can create an alignment with something that doesn't make us grow. We can spend too much time playing video games, for instance, or hanging out with friends who support you in avoiding and disconnecting from the tapestry of your own life to avoid and bypass what feels difficult, what feels challenging, and what feels threatening, because you'd have to change. When you dissolve the veil between you and your true self, you are allowing the expression, no matter what it is, within inside of yourself to emerge. Love is what dissolves a veil. A veil is a perception of how you want something to be. You can grow up in a dysfunctional family, and you grow up never seeing it, because in your mind, you needed it to be okay. You needed it to be more okay than okay. You needed it to mirror back to you that you were okay. Because inside it could have been terrifying to think that you might have been the cause for the upset in your family system. You would think that the dysfunctions around you are somehow something you can monitor, fix, or change. How does that tie into differentiating the veil that you create in God? Well, to fully live in the light of God that you are is pretty scary to most of us because it feels naked. It feels like we're exposing who we are. And most of us don't even know what that would look or feel like because we separate from our heart, because our heart hurts too much, because we have gone through feeling ABR'd, abandoned, betrayed, and or are rejected. When we stop turning away from ourself and really face the part of ourself that has wanted to stand up in its truth, its expression, its presence of who you really are, you discover that your external life, the external reality that you're living in, does not have to stop you. You can have 3 kids that you're raising single-handed and decide that you are going to create a business for yourself that makes a difference and challenges you to step through all of the patterns of your ancestral lineage and all of the patterns and teachings that it imparted upon you consciously and unconsciously. You can be a man who was raised in a family that had 0 business experience, and you make the decision that you are going to discover and to master how money is exchanged and grown, invested, and multiplied for the good of humanity. You want to discover the impetus, the spark of inspiration within inside of yourself and take off the veils, those rose-colored glasses that prevent you from seeing and receiving who you are, what you are, so that your inner sight can open, so that you can see beyond the paranormal, para, P-A-R-A, para, beyond the norm. It's not paranormal. It's not anything weird that you're seeing. When you take down the veil and you go beyond your limited box, your limited perceptions, you are seeing what is real. And throughout the last few thousand years, there's been a high price to pay for seeing through the veil. You're not supposed to. It's against the union of the political and religious state of control that has predominated the planet and is his story, the story of domination and sublimation of your true self. Those words sound pretty radical, right? I'm really talking from the center point where your heart, your mind, and your soul come together in oneness in God. And that has been considered radical, but it's not. It's actually your natural state. It's only through the norms, what's considered normal is to live in separation to fit yourself into the social belief systems, religious, political, economic systems that keep you separate from who you are. Those of you who are learning the systems that are here now, learn them well. Become your true self and live who you truly are. Come out of the illusion of who you think you are or want to be and really become who you are. And discover the gifts that you are here to give, you are here to bring. Discover their return to you to end your cycles of separation. When you are connected, tapped into the source of infinite expression within you, you touch into the truth of who you are. And in that truth, you can differentiate between illusion and the light of truth. Light of truth is not some fantasy story that goes on in your head. It's literally where you open to receive the guidance, the insight, whether it's a message that you feel or sense or hear when you wake up in the morning, to during the course of your day, you're going deep into your heart and you feel a connection into your heart, which is the doorway to your soul. However, Source is awakening you, being best friends with you. You can differentiate the truth from the untruth by being connected into your PowerPoint centers. I've seen people that I've been working with over the years go from being completely disconnected in their source points, the PowerPoint centers inside of themselves, and yet believing they were very, very much connected to their spiritual path, and yet had very little access to the deep truth, the infinite light within themselves. And so we're living in theories, in concepts. It's a very disconnected state that has occurred all around the globe, all around the planet, because the pathway of discovering inner truth, the divine oneness, was hidden and also was put into forms that were through religion, and yet you have to break out and through of the religious boxes to really find the source within you and to be able to trust it completely. Your connection through your veils, through the illusions, can happen in a spark, a flicker of a moment. It can happen through you being present under a starry night, sky filled in stars, and your being matches and meets the universe. You can have that experience of going beyond your box into the light through looking into a baby's eyes. You can have that spark and breakthrough illusion through being under a tree, sitting or standing by a tree and feeling the earth beneath your feet. You can have an experience of meeting an animal in the woods and having eye contact and seeing for real what's there. And you see through the veils, the ways that you shut down. You open to receive the direct light the direct transmission that's here for you in life each moment. You differentiate the false from the true through coming into yourself. You begin through coming into all of your PowerPoint centers. You can read in detail about them in my book, One in Soul. One in Soul, S-O-U-L. You can buy it on Amazon. And all of the Spirit Gateways programs that are all part of the membership offering to you, where you can get all now of all of the courses and trainings that bring you through the doorway into yourself through many different topics that you can choose from. I'd love to invite you to come subscribe to everything that I'm offering for free into the membership site, Evolutionary Empowerment, at my website, IanaLahi.com, IANALAHI.com, and join us. Join our collective movement for awakening into your true self and fulfilling your highest purpose of why you're here, and experience your relationships, your health, your finances, and the fulfillment of your dream, your purpose here, manifesting. Sending you much love, holding you in deep light, holding the flame on the candle of oneness, so that all of you unifies into the source that is within you. Come join us. Until next week, looking forward to getting to know you and hearing how you grow through the Spirit Gateways Institute offerings. All my love. Until next time, this is Ayana Lahi.